Exactly.
So, what advice would you give an artist who is interested in incorporating either scientific themes into their work or ocean themes into their work, or kind of wants to like get into this idea of doing this type of artwork?
I mean, first of all, there's a lot of there's a push now in academia, at least, to make scientific papers as open access as possible.
Mhm.
Um, and so I would definitely say, even if before you have um, try getting a relationship with a scientist or an institution, do some reading. Like Google, if you're really interested in, I don't know, corals, the impact of light on corals, Google it. See what's on Google Scholar. See what scientists are writing about those things. Because on many occasions, you can find the PDFs legally for free. Obviously, there are legal means to finding these things as well, but I'm not advocating for that. However, like you can try and read about it first, because you can educate yourself or learn more about the topic just on the internet. But then once you've got an idea of potentially the stuff that interests you, um, try and find, again, through internet searches, try and find scientists and people who are working on that thing, and then reach out to them. And if they want to collaborate with you, even better. You never know who you ask, because they might have funding, they might be able to do something with you, or they might not be interested, but don't be afraid to reach out to them, because I think sometimes the scientific world, because it's so institutional and it's can be they can speak a completely different language. um, don't let that stop you from reaching out, because what's the worst they can say? No, well, they don't answer back, and you just move on to someone else. At the end of the day, there'll be loads of different scientists working on similar things. So but yeah, start with reading. If something really interests you, it's like, oh, I've always wanted to do something on corals. See who's doing stuff on corals and reach out to them and say, would you be interested in working with me on a project? Yeah, and see, who's out there really. But I think, to begin with, if something really interests you in the scientific world, then try and read up about it first, really, and try and get to know more. Because then I suppose when you approach them, you'll have a better idea of what you want to get out of that relationship. You'll be like, oh, okay, and like, if, for example, as a scientist, say you're like, okay, I really like ocean acoustics, then you find one scientist is writing all these interesting papers that you liked. Read those papers, and then there's nothing wrong with flattery. Like, oh, hey, professor, whatever. I'm an artist. I've been reading your paper on X. I really like it. Would you like to have a conversation at one time about potential collaboration and stuff like that? And they say no, they say no. But I think that's a good place to start. And then maybe then through those institutions, then they might have sources of funding potentially, and then obviously you could actually do something then.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good way to start. Find a point of connection and interest. Okay,
Yeah,
my
exactly.
is about